Good evening, everybody. Another live stream here on YouTube, and I'm playing the preset which I created 2 weeks ago, Velocity Split Font 2. And while creating the preset, what I did is address also the XY. So if you go up here to the XY, you see I control the volumes of the two oscillators and the filter frequency of filter 1. And in the X movement, so from left to right, it's doing the oscillator 3 volume and oscillator 4 volume. And then you have a lot of options. And of course, then you can make some dynamic changes to the sound. And also, what I'm using is the modulation wheel. You see the keyboard in the upper left corner. And the modulation wheel is addressed in the FX section, because the FX section has 4 FX, and each FX has 2 mod matrix slots. So here you see the mod wheel is for controlling the FX1 mix, mod wheel is controlling for the FX1 feedback of the delay, and the second FX so is the phaser. And essentially, if I keep the modulation wheel closed, the phaser is not working because the modulation wheel controls the FX2 mix. And the mix you see here is closed, so there's no phaser if you have the modulation wheel closed. And if you open it, starts using the phaser. So by using these two tools, you can make tons of variation in the sound. This sound you can download. If you own Blues Free, you can still download in the live stream from the 1st of June. And it's called Velocity Split Font 2. So what I did on this live stream is using the sample option, the layer edit, where you have also the option to do a velocity splits, where you can see you see them here, and I use them in the modulation matrix, which is down here, and to control the volume of the oscillator 1 to 4. And then you see, I simply played a little beat and then move the XY around and the modulation wheel, and you got a lot of interesting sounds. Or you combine it together. Of course, these are things you can do also yourself if you have a preset. And what we could do is maybe going to making a different sequence again based on this preset. Why not? So this one uses the ARP. So I'm going to a neutral state here. Go to the ARP screen. Well, I'll make it then 16 steps so that I can make the first part. So let's see. Simply by changing the... while the velocity sets which sample is playing. You see the oscillator 6 is having a saw wave on. That one goes into the filter. Nice analog sounding filter. Okay, let's keep this one. Nice. So, and the other one, the other 4 oscillators are doing the velocity split. So are they given velocity the first, the 2 plays? Let's make that one a bit higher. So if I go back to the ARP, so it plays on 5 and 6 because there the velocity is 36. So if I stay below the value, which is in the sample page, you see the velocity is 1 to 41. So the velocity 0 or 1 to 41 is playing this tube sound. And in the ARP, if you go above that, the other oscillator starts to play. So we keep this one, and let's see what oscillator 2 does. It's the boil. And that one plays in a different range. You see 56 and 59. And there we could pick a different sample. So we go back to this and let's see. So let's see if we take something else here. Not bad. So now we still have other steps we can use, because oscillator 3, we have not put them on. This one responds, and I need to go back to the layer page. This one, the oscillator 3 will respond from velocity value 71 up to 105. By the way, in an update, we need to make these letters a little bit bigger. They're a little bit too small, I think, but that's a little increasement of some little features. But so in the sample page, I use the velocity splits to make the oscillator, then the third one, a respond between 71 and 105. So this is the third oscillator. T-body, it's called. Yeah. Okay, that's this sound. Let's make it a different one. So you can look to a different sample. See what sounds best. I think this one is a little bit too. So this is the valve sound. And we always can use the oscillator 3 as volume envelope, which is now not active, but if I open the amount, then it starts to get active. I make it more shorter. So let's see the FX. Now, then remains, so it doesn't mean that I need to use all the 4 oscillators. So I have the velocity switch, and the 4th oscillator, so if we go back to the sample page, will respond if the velocity in the ARP is set to 106 up to 127. So let's see if that if we put that one on. Balafon single, and if it sounds that it doesn't hit this value nowhere, so maybe then we use this one. Okay. Well, Let's see if we can find something else. Just go. So this is the range of samples we have. Yeah, this is already a cool sound. So I would save this one and then I make it, and I will save this one, save preset as fun 1, because we lost that one last time. Velocity split fun 1. Yes, I would like to override it. Let's see what the manager says with set category. Okay. And of course, it could be that this ARP is going to be a bit, so of course I play only one note. It's nice, but I still can make some variation. And the trick in Blues 3, which I always use, now you see the ARP has, in total, has the option to have 32 steps. But I only use 16, and the trick what I will always use is using the command and say copy steps 116 to 70 to 32. Then essentially I need to go up here to make it 32 steps, and then essentially have the copy from 1 to 16 also down here 17 to 32. And here I could make then the variations so that the sequences is not that getting irritating, boring. So here I could do some changes. And then you have, you see, then you have the second part is a little bit different. So that's, I think it's a nice preset. So I save it again so that I also have this variation. And what you also can do is rename preset. So I would, oh, I think last time that one went wrong. So I could say save preset as one fun one variation. Or just simply 1B. And 1B would be without this oscillator. Let's see how the volume is at 3. Because that is an interesting variation. Because the other one already has maybe too much, and sometimes in the music you want to have less. And that's also what you always can do with your presets. If you hear a preset in Blues 3, it's shutting down one of the oscillators. So if you have a beat going on and use this one, you can say, okay, let me shut down this one. Or this one. There's a very easy way to personalize your sounds, of course. So we have this one I should rename preset. I call it A1A. Okay. That is with the synth, and this one is without B. And maybe you think, why does he, because some people think, why does he save it as A and B? Because people in production, sometimes they run and play this one and they say, okay, and then they go to the next one. I say, oh, this one is better, because they don't know how this sound is built up. And I have the feeling that this is really a solid, a good variation, because if somebody hears for the first time this preset, he will not think, oh, he doesn't know how the sound design process was, so he will not shut down oscillator 6, for instance, to make it fit in his music. So B is then also a good variation. That's for okay, so I'm just playing around with these presets for, let me see if the volume of this one is good. The other one, a bit harder. Okay, and I save this one. So we have then fun A, 1A, fun 1B, and fun 2, which was where the, and you see it's totally different. Put them a bit harder. And also in this preset, you can shut down things. So essentially, here I did not make this variation, but yeah, you see, that's what you can do. Okay, checking out the chat room, because I'm playing around, and I see people in the chat room. Everybody, hello. I hope everybody is fine. What is the latest news? Maybe it's good to mention the latest news. The latest news is that our new FX is in good progress, but we will release it after the summer. We have, of course, our holiday period, and we still need to finish the manual, making presets for this new FX. But that will be in progress after the summer. We will release it. It's going to be a cool one, and so that's anyhow planned. We did fix the issue we had on the NKS on the Mac. If the Mac Complete Control on Machine 2 did run in M1, it did not load our plugins, so we had to fix that. That's fixed now. Of course, a few weeks ago, we released the NKS version of Bit 2. It's already NKS. And so, yeah. So let me check again the chat room. Yeah, I see, because the CR78, we have that one in Punch 2. If I would load Punch 2 again, add track, instrument, send Punch 2. Where are you? That's, of course, in VST3 in the category drums. Punch. So I just take this one. And here's Punch 2. And if you would go to the Bank Manager, I think it's the verse. Here is the CR78 kit. Did sample it myself. So here, the snare. I need to click. So let me play the sounds and shut down the microphone so you don't hear the clicking of my keyboard. Of course, some other original punch sounds came through. But then I created a little groove with the sequencer pattern. An easy page. Can sound dirty, isn't it? But the easy page is always fun. So the CR78, and of course you can use and play this your own. What is more in this? It's in the diverse bank. The KR55. This is the typical KR55. Of course, we put some other sounds in it because this is one of the synthesized models using the built-in models. Very dirty snare. And we had the KR55 in our band Nova and Peru. And one of the technician guys was a friend of ours, made separate outputs so that the kick and snare could be recorded separately. So so Punch has these two very nice kits, and of course also the 808, which is I think more in the dance bank. Going 808 plus. Yeah. And some other. Yeah, see, it's loading the presets, but it goes pretty fast on this machine. Disco, we made it. And I always love the easy page. Oh. I like these claps. Let's see where the claps are. Pattern, claps. Baby, where are you? Here it is. I think this is synthesis claps. I expect that. Here is, or is it sampled? No, here it is. So if we go here, yeah, it's Model 3. Isn't that amazing? Sounds like real claps. Can make them ridiculous long. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, you see, the easy page is really good to play around with. So I'm very distracted again. And this is such a cool tool, this Punch 2. It sounds fantastic. It's, of course, very sophisticated. So it takes some time to get into the whole system, how it works. But therefore, we have in the Punch playlist on YouTube some good videos about this. So yeah, so the 808, 909, I think it's also very good inside of it. Let me see if this one if I call it 909, I'm not sure. Amen Groove. That's something else. Oh, that's a nice one. So let's see if we have a looking for a bass. Totally crazy. I mean, from that perspective, it's really a drum synthesizer. And you see, I'm just editing an easy page. If you made something cool, never, of course, if you save the song, also the edit page is memorized. But if you want the setting, then always save a preset then in your own bank folder. Cool. So there about Punch and having some classic drum machines. So in the dance bank, there is this kind of going 808 plus, fully 808 stuff. Of course, 909. I'm not sure if that one should be something maybe labeled. Hip hop, no. Yeah, and in the diverse bank is the CR78 plus 100 beats per minute, and the KR55, which is KR55 maybe because it has some. And this one is cool. I'm not sure what this one is. Peter Art. No. Yeah, and then yeah, there's so much inside of it. Jamal makes totally different type of grooves. And it's really having a lot of power. Okay, guys, let me check the chat room. If you have a question, just drop a note. That would be great. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I played some of the songs I was working on, old style synthesizer music, and I had a new sound which I used in this track, which was very nice. This was so simply created during the track. It's very a bit toned. So I also cut the low end. So if I were to release it as a full sound, most likely I will keep the body. So I was too lazy to put in the EQ on the mixer, so I used the sound and simply used the high pass filter to cut away a little bit of this low end. What I had at that time also. Always nice in noise. The phaser. So some of the personal sounds, and this bass was in the start of the song, very low. Very dark, but in the mix it had really a nice spot. So, and I made a lead sound, but I don't find that one back. Maybe it's in the lead sound already. It has very smooth, for Minimoog style of lead sounds. Isn't that nice what you can have these days in your computer? Okay, so bit 2, Blue 3, we have new presets with Blue. I will add them, all 3 of them. So the presets called Velocity Split Fun 1A, 1B, Split Fun 2. I think that's so that these are created today. Version 1 and version 2. And the playing of the live stream already did that. You have a beat, and how much you can do even with other sounds by simply using the XY and recording the XY, using the modulation wheel. Huh? Okay. Modulation wheel. And variation B is without the 6 alternator. So a lot of this, sometimes this fits better because the other one was maybe over the top too much. Depends on your song, of course. So now you hear more accent on the plug. More controlling the volume. Yeah, and the same with this Fun 2. And that's what I told in the start of this live stream. I use the FX, the modulation wheel connected to the FX1 mix of the stereo delay and the feedback. So when I open the modulation wheel, the feedback increases and the mix balance between the dry signal and the wet signal. And the analog phaser, essentially, if the modulation wheel is closed, you don't hear it because here the mix is too dry. So it's fully dry, 100% dry. And then it controls the FX2 mix. So then if it opens, the phaser kicks in. So that's the cool thing with the by the way, these are I can see that the FX parameters are not animated. Or did I shut it off? That well could be. I did shut it off. Oh no, it's active. So yeah, and then what I mentioned is you simply can shut down oscillators. If I would go to a different arpeggiator sound, just pick one of them. So let's see, maybe one of the newer ones. It's always good. Sometimes this sounds it's better in your music. So that's something which really with Blues 3 is something you always can do. If you create music and you think, oh, this sound is cool, but maybe it's too dominant or too attention pulling, simply shut down the oscillators, one of the oscillators, and play around what you can do. So if you have a beat, so this is the original preset. Yeah, maybe this one fits better if you only have this one in the background. Or the other way around, this percussive one. And the other thing is, of course, you see the arp is used here, is that you can adapt the arp, change the arp a little bit to make it more personal. So pretty easy. So some old beats here. Buzz is too much changing from chords. I'm not sure what chords are playing, but you get my point. So this is a preset, and you might think, oh, this one fits better. And the other thing you also could do, simply click here, different waveform. Don't be afraid. Or go to a different preset and repeat the same. Okay, you might think, oh, okay, this one is not good from the start, then leave it. And maybe think, oh, this one is cool. Shut down. What happens? Okay, maybe you think this one is cool, but the rhythm is not cool. And change the arpeggiator. It's a whole different feeling now, simply by changing the arpeggiator. And that's the case. People then go from one preset to another preset, but you also could say, hey, I see the sequencer is played, I will shut down some steps, or the arp is used. You can shut down the oscillators. Of course, Blues 3 is a very deep synthesizer, but that doesn't mean that you have to do everything from scratch. Yeah, indeed. Okay, Browns, don't be afraid to tweak your synth. It's built for it. Yeah, that will be a good slogan, isn't it? Okay. So let's take another example. taiko, hey, and a synth. Hey, and here you synth. Okay, you think that, well, this one sounds better. Then you keep this one, and you remove the taiko. Or you say, look for another sample. Hey, this udo is maybe cooler. Then you got an udo. Or you say, shut down this one. Only the udo. It's nice. So, yeah. So that is something I really like to point out with using Blues 3, because some people think, oh, why it can do so much. 6 oscillators, tons of features, a lot of features. And it's a tuned udo. It's a very nice round sound. Yeah, sweet, isn't it? I love these type of sounds. So, yeah, well, what is the other news? I forgot to mention that Prisma is on its way. We had some issues, but not sure if it's going to be before my holiday, because I have a little holiday in front of me. So this means that after today, we will catch up. The next live stream will be the Thursday, 13 July, if I'm not wrong. So, but I will post it in a community tab, though. So if you go to YouTube, you have videos, live streams, but also the community tab. And if you did subscribe to my YouTube channel, you also can see my posts there. So there are posts if there is no live stream. But I will post on the next live stream after my lazy holiday. Of course, our robpapen.com is open. And the rest is continue, support everything. But I'm do some attempts in being lazy, trying to get some new records in being lazy on holiday. So might be the case that Guinness Book of Records will come over to the beach, and then I will set another world record in being lazy. Okay, and of course, yeah, well, it was a very nice year where we did release a lot of things. And yeah, and after the holiday, we will, of course, catch up again. Okay, I'm looking for the chat room. Yeah, if there's any question, let me know. So what I will upload in the zip file, and then you need to drop them in the bank folder. But I describe that in applications. It's if you go to Mac, it's applications, robpapen/Blues3 bank folder. Best is to have your own folder. So you see here, Rob Personal 01, Rob Personal. That's what you also can create by simply click down here in the bank manager. You click on new bank, and then you create your personal. And there you could drop in the sounds you download or somewhere else, whatever. But these 3 sounds I created, which were the velocity split sounds, B, and fun, will be inside of it. And by the way, I've also found this blue E piano. I'm not sure if that one is in the official bank. It's E Piano X. Okay, then somebody requests, is the masterclass in English? Yeah, so now and then I do private masterclasses here. Mostly it's on the Friday or a Saturday, but its max is once a month because I'm so busy. And but it can be, it also can be in English, but of course you need to go over to the Netherlands. That's the whole sound. But you also could check out, of course, the book DVD, which is in English. I will show it to you. If you go to the Papen homepage, I will open it for you now. Here's the Papen homepage. Make it a little bit bigger, and then you go up here. You got the book and the book and video. It was initially a book with 4 DVDs, but many people don't have a DVD player anymore. So it's now published by a publisher in the United States, and the 10 hours video content is in the cloud. So you get in the book, you get a code, or in the PDF. It's even the PDF also has a unique code, and then you can log in and visit all the check all the 10 hours of video. We have some extra things as well. So here, go to extras. You see we have Camel audio presets. That synth is not available anymore, but I will play it and use one sound, the guitar sound, to explain what harmonics are and how it works. Synthesizer.com, the synthesizer I use during this training. Extra videos out here you can see, and you also can download the Predator ES4ES, which is a synthesizer with all the presets I created in this book DVD and video, and you can play around with it. So you cannot save a preset, but you can play around with it and listen to the sounds. You can hear the categories for, presets made with a sinus waveform, and it follows the whole book. And the book is over 200 pages. So if you say, okay, oops, what's that now? Forbidden main. Okay, and then the redirect is not okay. I need to fix that. So the book is really a good study material. So if you are not living close to my location for a private session, but I really can advise this book DVD. It will explain in its own way, in my own 4-element synth way, how subtractive synths work. Keep in mind that this synthesis, the subtractive, which you can use, you find in a Virus B, in a Nord lead, in a Bit 2, in a Predator, name it. I mean, so the subtractive synthesis, the whole concept below it, the whole system I explain. And if you know how the system works, it's also easier to work with any synthesizer. Yeah, ordering the book. I'm in the USA. Yeah, cool. So that's really a thing which I would advise to, if you want to learn more. It's always good, because knowledge is power, I would say. Is the more. So the whole goal with this book DVD is that you, after you did study it, it needs time to study it, that you will say, okay, now it's not this pile of dials anymore. Now I understand the system behind it. It's like if you would take somebody from 1,000 years ago and you would show him a car, and he would say, oh, how is that possible? But then if you would explain, oh, there's an engine inside of it, and that goes to the wheels, and this goes on fuel, goes from a tank, and then he would say, oh, that's the way it moves forward, you know? So it's a bit like that you will learn how the basic features are, how the basic layout is of a synthesizer. Let me see, in the extras is also the 4S image. This is the image. This is the method I use. You can print this out because in the reprint version, this is not in color, but you will see this in color. This is the system I developed for how you can learn subtractive synthesis. So that's why I call it the 4-element synth, because essentially a subtractive synthesizer has 4 elements. So it really makes that, which looks complex. So how we say that in the right word? After reading the book, you will say, okay, Rob explains to me, and now it's less complex for me. Instead of looking at a pile of dials, you would say, okay, now I understand the concept behind it. And of course, that's, and then you can work easily, much easier, and then also tweak more consciously your synthesizers. Okay, guys, so let me go back to the chat room. Okay. Good, guys. This was it for today. I will upload the presets. You will can download after a few minutes. So sorry for all these blinking screens here. Sorry for that. I will make that. We have that one always on top, because when I go with the mouse to the upper screen where the chat room, it's going up and down the screen. So thank you for watching, and yeah, after my holiday, so if I'm not wrong, Thursday the 13th of July, we catch up again. And okay, and look in the chat room. Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, now some questions pop up. So I'm still a bit longer in the chat room. Currently, we don't actively developing REs. We are fixing bugs in the RE. We had a bug in Go2, and Bit just uploaded a new version, so we keep maintaining them. But because of the VST3 development, we had so much time for making VST3 and the new other products that we simply don't have the time anymore for developing more rack extensions. And what we also notice is that people reason once they loaded the ability to have also to load VST and VST3, that many focus on that only instead of the rack extension. So yeah, but the current catalog will remain, of course. And then another question is learning code good for making a plugin? I was looking for at C++. Yeah, I'm not a coder. I'm a musician and a developer in terms of the concept, what the synthesizer should be. The coding in our team is John Iris and Sajik, who does the Mac version, and for instance also Prisma. So I think C++ is what I know is a good programming for creating plugins. Oh, Chris, if you notice that, please let us know about Sublime Base in the browser. I think this is a bug which is in, now you say it, this is a bug in Reason. It's not a bug caused by us, but it's a Reason bug. So we cannot fix that Sublime Base one. So that's something Reason itself needs to fix. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Spread the word about my YouTube channel.